Oh, it is. It is Thursday episode of Donno Daily here on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. I am Alex Donno, taking you for the next hour or so here, talking Miami Dolphins and a little Miami Hurricanes on this episode. We talked a ton of Heat yesterday, and the Heat are going to cruise right into the NBA Finals. We know this. So we're going to focus our attention on South Florida's tackle football teams today, if you don't mind it. But yeah, guys, I see some folks already getting in on the live chat. Make sure you take advantage of the live chat because we read a lot of the messages, flash them on the screen when they come in. And then at the end of the show, always try to do as many shout outs as I possibly can for people who chatted live with us. So take advantage of that. It's a great way to interact, see others, and be seen. And a big way you can help us out. It helps this show and it helps the entire channel. Smash the like button, smash that thumbs up button. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the 5 Reasons Sports Network YouTube channel. I don't know why, like the live chat opens as soon as the show YouTube video is like posted hours before we go live. It was weird. Like a couple of the messages in the live chat that we got like way before the show went live don't appear on here anymore. Like I responded to some dude, Scott. I can't remember exactly what his message said now because for some reason it doesn't appear in my studio here anymore. But he said something about hoping the Dolphins draft the punt god, Matt Ariza, in the third round. And I'm just keeping it real here. I'm a huge fan of Ariza. Might end up being, generational, incredible punter for like the next 20 years because, punters can punt for 20 years, right? I mean, it's kind of an ageless position. But the thing is, the Dolphins are not drafting Ariza now that they've signed Thomas Morstead. And Thomas Morstead is one of the better punters in the NFL. So he's not just like a body that they're going to bring in and say, oh, we're kind of tired of this guy. We're going to go draft the punt god in the third round. Like, they signed Thomas Morstead, presumably, unless something happens to him. Do punters even get injured? I mean, something were to happen to him, maybe, but otherwise, I think he's going to be our punter. A lot of the focus on this episode is going to go into Miami Dolphins' recent visit with edge rusher Melvin Ingram, who, just so you guys know, a couple people have told me you can get your hopes up a little bit on this one, that they think the Dolphins are going to end up getting Melvin Ingram to sign, put pen to paper, that he's going to end up being a Miami Dolphin. So we're going to talk a lot about him on this episode. We're going to talk about some of the college players that have come in for pre-draft visits. This is going to be the most chill NFL draft for Dolphins fans that I can remember in a really long time. You got nothing in the first round. So night one, we're all going to watch because it's night one, first round of the NFL draft, prime time, Thursday night, April 28th. We're all going to watch it, but the Dolphins don't have any picks. Don't have any picks in the second round, not till the third round. So the Dolphins have a third round pick, a fourth round pick, which I think are going to be very interesting because I think you can get some really good players in the third and fourth round. And then they've got a pair of seventh round picks. And usually by the time, on what is it now, Saturday afternoon, when you're watching the seventh round, even the people commenting on it, whether you're watching ESPN or NFL Network, they start mailing it in during the seventh round, sixth and seventh round. Like they're not even talking about the players getting drafted anymore. Like when you're in the sixth and seventh round, they're just having these side conversations. And oh, by the way, so-and-so just got drafted by the Detroit Lions. I can actually remember being a little bit frustrated by that because, folks, the only time that I really pay close attention to the sixth and seventh round of the NFL draft, it's not even so much for the Miami Dolphins. When I pay close attention to the sixth and seventh round, it's usually because I'm looking to see if a Miami Hurricane player gets drafted with a late pick. And I can remember years ago, you remember Brad Kaya got drafted in the sixth round. And I'm watching, I can't remember if I was watching ESPN or NFL Network, but at the time he got drafted, you would have no idea by listening to them. Like it flashed it on the screen, Brad Kaya drafted by the Detroit Lions, but I would have had no clue otherwise. Okay. Our guy, Husam, you're still in the beautiful hotel room there in Atlanta, which is Brooklyn Rob notified us. That's what are you eating today? Is that a
French fries.
Oof.
It's normal food. It's just French fries.
Okay. Did you get like a sandwich with that, or you just wanted fries today?
I had a sandwich with it, but that's for dinner.
You know what's really funny? So Hussam was on with us yesterday, and he ate what was it, chicken biryani or something? I don't know if I'm saying that. You ate Indian chicken like during the show yesterday. I kind of got a kick out of it watching you inhale that food. But I was looking through the YouTube comments from yesterday's episode. There was this one commenter who sincerely was offended by the fact that you were
I
eating.
saw.
Did you see that? Like he was sincerely offended. He said it was disrespectful that you were eating during the show yesterday. Is that why you made sure to eat again?
Yep, 100%. I've taken your mantra of trolling, Alex.
Oh my God. I love it. See, I enjoy that. Now, Hussam, I wanted to pick up, and by the way, in about 10 minutes, Big John Studd is going to join us to talk a little Dolphins as well. You know, this is something we didn't really dive into this a lot yesterday, Hussam, because we were talking Miami Heat, but the word has come out. Oh, what is that, like 4 fries stuck together?
4 fries stuck together.
What I'm trying to guess, like, so did you get these fries from like a popular chain spot, or is it something like unique to that neighborhood in Atlanta?
It's a Mediterranean spot.
I was going to try to guess because those sort of looked like Five Guys fries. Actually, probably not thick enough to be Five Guys fries, but a little. So I was going to try to guess where you got those from.
Yeah, it's like a Mediterranean place just right by the hotel.
Okay. What kind of sandwich did you get for later?
I got.
Did you get a pita?
Chicken skewers,
Skewers?
which was marinated in like a garlic creamy sauce. And it's like wrapped up in like I think like not a pita. I want to say pita, but I don't know. I haven't opened it yet. It's for dinner tonight.
He doesn't want to spoil the surprise. So we've gotten the news. Melvin Ingram visited the Miami Dolphins on the 11th of April, and you've got some Dolphin fans actually trying to debate, like, no, shouldn't sign this guy. He's completely finished. Like, I am not in that camp whatsoever. I would love the Miami Dolphins to sign Melvin Ingram. He's 32 years old. Now, his best days are behind him. But, even last year, like, he split time between the Pittsburgh Steelers and Kansas City Chiefs last year. 3 sacks, 10 quarterback hits, 29 hurries, 42 total pressures, 1 forced fumble, 18 solo tackles, 19 stops, and I think he played almost 60% of the defensive downs last year. And so take a minute from your diet and go get a sandwich, Alex. This is I haven't eaten bread in like 6 months, and this guy's eating French fries in front of me. This is crazy. Comedy gold. Yeah, and honestly, I'm going to get back to Melvin Ingram real quick. I have noticed that, like, eating during content is actually becoming something people do. Like, do you ever watch the I Am Athlete pod?
Yep.
Like,
eating like a full course, like 5-star meal of steak. Like,
it's great. Like, I'm watching this and I'm like, and we're listen, like, that's a really big podcast. And I know Brandon Marshall and that production company, they put a lot of money, research into it. Like, I'm sure that they're like figuring out, okay, what do people want to watch on camera? How do we make this more presentable? And they've apparently come to the decision that eating like a 3-course meal during a video podcast is something people want to see. So I think that the guy who commented on the YouTube video yesterday and said that Hussam was being disrespectful, I think he's wrong. Like, apparently the people want to watch dudes eat while they're doing a video podcast.
People watch mukbang videos. They watch food ASMR. They hear people crunch fries. Like, come on.
Really?
Yeah. Listen, there's some weird-ass people in this world, all right?
That's very weird. That's really weird.
Look up, like, mukbang videos or, like, food ASMR.
I don't even know what is mukbang. It sounds like a porn genre. Not that I would know anything about that, but like what is
Google it?
Mukbang?
Okay, put up your screen. Hold on. You should be faster at this now. We're gonna be talking about mukbang.
I'm not fast at it. Is that right? 1 word or 2 words? Mukbang.
1 word. I promise you, it is not porn.
All right, good, because if I put porn up here, that's probably going to be hold on, I want to. I'm just going to do a Google image here. Let me share my screen. Don't kink shame. No, I mean I would never kink shame. Although, you know what, if you were into like food porn, like literal food, I probably would shame you for that because that's just weird. Like those are things that you should not mix.
Hey, Mom, look, the pizza guy is here. Bam.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's just
So
people
this
eating food.
is, look at this. Look at this, dude. Do you think that this person, oh, hold on. I accidentally clicked on a thing. What the heck
Is
is,
that KFC?
it is KFC for sure. Like, okay. Do you think that the dweeb here, who is,
Why are you calling him a
oh, wait,
dweeb? It's fried chicken. Who doesn't like fried chicken?
look at him. He's dweeb. Hold on.
I think
Let me
he's pretty cool, man. I think he's pretty damn cool.
Is somebody, you know what's going to happen? It's going to get back to this person that I called him a dweeb, and I'm going to get canceled now because of this. So but
Alex,
look at this. Like,
you're the
how much
freaking dweeb.
do you think this guy like makes money doing this? Like he's sitting there
Dude,
mukbanging
like
with a mountain of KFC.
mukbang. There's like mukbang videos with like 3,000% Donno daily views. Okay.
Oh,
Like
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it whatsoever. I don't doubt it.
it's
And
like
by the way, I don't know. I don't know
10,000
what's. I
times.
don't know if it's the Husam effect or if Manny Chang forgot to put us in the lead slot on 5 Reasons Sports YouTube. But the live views are not very high right now. So share, tell your friends. Donno Daily is live. Smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe to 5 Reasons Sports. I've had to take Manny behind the woodshed a few times because when I'm on live, my video should be on the lead spot on 5 Reasons Sports YouTube. You don't need to keep Defo in the lead spot for 24 hours. Like I don't care if Defo had an amazing conversation with John.
Too, all right? I have good content too. Mine also needs to be in the lead spot. All right. I'm fighting.
Absolutely.
Too.
Absolutely.
But on to Melvin Ingram. Look, the way you spoke about Melvin Ingram, you're basically saying, oh, he's in the decline of his career. Yeah, he's older. He's not the same pass rusher he would be, but think about it. He's a guy you would play maybe 35% of the time on those third down snaps, maybe critical second downs. You get him into third and longs as well, or second and short, fresh legs, basically. Like he's a veteran who knows how to play defense. He knows how to pass. He knows how to rush passer. He knows how to defend against the run. I mean, he brings value added to that defense. He brings more defensive presence in that defensive line group.
Yeah, no, I'm completely there with you. Like you talk about being able to use Melvin Ingram on situational downs, third downs, third and longs, let him pin his ears back. He's also very versatile, can play in a number of different formations and positions. And yet, like Miami, you've got your primary pass rushers, of course, because Manuel Ogbah, you've re-signed. I expect Jalen Phillips to keep getting better, but to have the depth, the luxury of depth from a guy like Melvin Ingram, I think would really make this defense pop, Husam. And a good point that was brought up, I was watching Kyle Krabs on Locked On Dolphins this week, and he brought up another good point that you talk about a guy like Melvin Ingram, who's been a high-level player, been in the NFL for a decade, the type of experience and leadership he can add into the defensive locker room, where maybe he can take a guy like Jalen Phillips under his wing and help make that dude even better. I think that's a big thing for Ingram. It's not going to cost you a whole lot. And it's actually like there have been some miracles being worked behind the scenes. And I've got to give Chris Greer so much credit. I know that I've ripped the guy before, but he's having a splendid offseason.
Speaking of, did you read I know you don't read, but did you see my mock draft?
No, I read the 280 character tweet version and I shared it. But no, I haven't read your mock draft yet.
So this comes back to the same point with Melvin Ingram. Like if you want to pull it up, my last pick is a developmental pass rusher from Virginia Tech. And here's where I think if Miami does indeed sign Melvin Ingram, they'll try to get somebody to replace Melvin Ingram a season or two from now, or potentially move on from Emmanuel Ogbah 3 years from now. Like you have Jalen Phillips, you're going to have him for at least 4 to 5 years. Okay? You're going to need another young pass rusher. Yes, you have Andrew Van Ginkel. You may need to pay him. You need to develop your pass rushers in the NFL. Now, a lot of these pass rushers, they're drafted either very early on or late because they see their length, their size, their speed. And in the draft community, we say to bet on traits. And a guy who I would bet on is Virginia Tech's Amari Barno. Now, Canes fans know of Barno very, very well. He's an off-ball. He was an off-ball linebacker. Then he became an edge rusher. And, dude, this guy's a physical freak. All right? He's super quick, really, really strong hands, and he's a damn good run defender as well. But he does not have the toolkit to be a premier pass rusher in this league. Now, you pair him up with a guy like Emmanuel Ogbah and Melvin Ingram, he's going to learn. He's going to learn. He's got to put on more weight, yes, but in the NFL, people automatically gain almost 20 to 30 pounds
absolutely
in the offseason.
Just
he needs to
you bring him down here. You bring him down here. You get him to the Ventanita at La Carreta. Get him some croquetas, and he's going to put on 20 pounds, no problem.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. So no. I mean, listen. I think that the Melvin Ingram idea, and let's not forget, like Hussam, a couple things on the Dolphins defense. I like the fact that they've kept so much continuity, but it's mostly just been bringing the same guys back from last year. Some people are going to have the questions about, okay, how much of it was flow? How much of an effect did flow have on making that defense better? Did they overachieve because of flow? So if you're just, rolling the dice on basically the same exact personnel from a year ago, I think it would be a quality luxury and depth move to bring in a guy like Melvin Ingram, even if he's playing less than 40% of the snaps, because that's the sort of thing that can make this defense better. And Hussam, I'm okay with the idea of some luxury pickups here because, okay, based on all the moves that the Dolphins have made on the offensive side of the football this offseason, it's clear they want to make themselves contenders, okay? And bringing in someone like Melvin Ingram is the type of move an aspiring contender would make. So I'm all about it. Let's bring on our guy here, Big John Stud. Hold on, I'm going to stop sharing the screen because it's disrespectful to Big John Stud to have that logo covering his face the way that it was. So here he is. So Big John Stud, we're going to get into a lot of stuff with you, man, but let's start with Melvin Ingram, who paid a visit within the last week. Some folks I talked to seem optimistic he's going to be a Miami Dolphin. Would you like the Dolphins to make this move?
Yeah. That's exactly what you need. You need another pass rusher. I don't think he's going to be asking for the moon to the stars. He knows he's not worth not that kind of money right now, and have enough money to get him under the 21 million around there. 21 million.
You're gonna hate me for saying this because I know we had connection issues a couple weeks ago, but the connection's not good, bro. The connection's not good. I know you you tracked down like the cable guy or whoever that screwed up with the wires there, and you gave them like a big time ass whooping. And I know we thought we had it fixed, but the connection's not so good, my friend. But I made out the gist of what Big John Stud said there. And then another thing, when you talk about Hussam with the salary cap, I don't know what sort of black magic Chris Greer and company have pulled there. The Dolphins are still top 4 in the NFL in salary cap space available. They've got the 4th most cap space in the league, despite all the moves that they've made. Gesicki franchise tag, Ogbah is back, Tyreek Hill gets a big contract. The Dolphins still have the 4th most cap space in the National Football League.
Enjoy the salary cap while they have it. Once they need to start paying Tua, Liam Eichenberg, Jalen Waddle, Jalen Phillips, Javon Holland within 3 to 4 years from now.
Yeah, no, it's true, and you got to enjoy that now. And listen, that is the one compliment that I give to Tua Tagovailoa, and that he's not taking up cap space on a rookie deal. That's the best compliment I can give. He's not hamstringing the team financially.
Could you imagine if we still had Ryan Tannehill?
Oh, at the money that they were paying him? Oh, man. Yeah, because, I mean, listen, Tannehill and Tua are similar, but Tua is a lot cheaper. So, yeah, I take Tua. And I'm saying that. I think we're better. And I was saying all that stuff about Tua because I knew Big John Stud could hear me, and he's going to want to come down here and kick my butt like he kicked the butt of the cable guy.
Can you or still got connection issues?
Oh, it's still a little choppy.
Got the sauce from yesterday.
It's still a little choppy.
I still have the sauce from
I
yesterday.
have an issue yesterday.
That's weird.
I don't know, man. I didn't want.
Oh no, hold on. It's a little. I think it's a little bit better now. I think it's a. We'll roll with that.
I took off that light that took off last time, so.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
that's what it is.
I don't know. I don't know. Now another thing I want to get into, and Hussam, let me start with you on this one because I know you've been talking a lot about draft prospects and visits. The Dolphins should be in the market for a center. If they were to sign J.C. Treader, that would take care of the problem. But if they're looking to draft a guy, what do you think about Zach Tom from Wake Forest? Now, I'd love to have, he's just like 2 letters short of Zach Thomas. So I'd love to have a guy, Zach Tom. I'd like to have him in the Dolphins facility. This guy, he was playing tackle last year at Wake Forest, but he's considered to be a center, as a draft prospect. He's really fast for a guy that size. It's 6'5", 312 pounds. He ran a sub-5 40-yard dash at the combine. I can't run a sub-5, and I weigh considerably less than 312 pounds. He didn't bench press at the combine, but he did bench press at his pro day and put up 25 reps, which is like probably about average for his position. So this guy visited Hussam within the past week. Do you think Zach Tom, if the Dolphins don't go out and sign a veteran center, do you think drafting a guy like Zach Tom, perhaps in the 3rd or 4th round, could be the answer?
I think he fits the system. He fits that zone system. He's big. He's powerful. Moves quick on his feet. However, go back to my article. Put it up again. Look who I talked about. And in the next couple days, that guy will be visiting the Miami Dolphins for a 30 for 30 visit as well. And I would prefer that guy.
Who is that guy?
Look it up in the article right now, Alex.
Oh, I already minimized it. Hold on. Now I got to go back. 5reasonsports.com.
Is it Alec Lindstrom? Just out of curiosity? Just guessing?
Nope.
Okay, I didn't read it.
Not a lot of people will get it.
Hold on. All right, let me share screen. So this is in the same article that I had open before.
Yep.
All right, let me share the screen. Hold on.
And I had him on my show too, as well.
Oh.
I know who it is.
Cole Strange?
Yep.
Here we go. So tell me how he would project to the Miami Dolphins and how he would fit in with this system, Hussam.
So here's the thing. Cole basically talked about it. I talked about what he knew about the wide zone system and just basically zone blocking scheme overall. Now, he did have an informal conversation with somebody from the Dolphins at the NFL Combine. Per sources, he'll be at the 30 for 30 visit as well in Miami very, very soon. He's had good conversations with the Dolphins, a couple of follow-up calls as well. He's very versatile. He's played left tackle. He's played left guard. He can play center as well. He did it at the Senior Bowl. And he held his own up against Big 12 guys, Big 10 guys, SEC guys. UConn's defensive tackle, Travis Jones, who looks like he can be a first-round pick. He's like 6'3", 350 pounds, very, very strong, powerful as well. And Strange holds his own. I really, really like the kid, really like the dude. And it's the type of pick which makes you go, we're like, like we know Chris Curry likes big-name prospects. But with Mike McDaniel, like if you look at their drafting history, with Mike McDaniel with San Francisco and Atlanta and Washington, they picked guys that nobody really knew about and molded them into starters and really, really good starters. Like who the hell heard of Laken Tomlinson up until this year's free agency? Who heard of Jordan Reed? He was a former quarterback turned tight end, which had career years with Mike McDaniel and John Embry.
Let me throw this down. Go ahead.
That goes back to the key word I've been saying for the past month on his show. I said the key word is teach. They said they have teachers. If they can teach these play. I don't have a problem.
At the same
I
time,
just
you
don't
still
want.
need talent, though.
I get that, but I don't want you to Jackson and sack Tua, and you're there. You know what I'm saying? We need people if they can teach Austin Jackson to block. Take some sumo wrestling classes, put some people out the way. I don't care whether you do or don't. That's a problem. Just keep Tua up. Jesus.
By the way, I was watching Austin Jackson's media availability from the other day, and it was Joe Shad who asked him, like, this outside zone, I think it fits your physical characteristics better. What do you think? And I did chuckle a little bit when Austin Jackson was like, well, I think I can play in any system, but I do think that the I was like bursting. Are you sure about that, Austin? But then, yeah, he did go on to say that, with my athleticism, that, yeah, this sort of blocking scheme could be a fit for me. I mean, Big John Stud, do you think that, Austin Jackson, he's going to compete to potentially be the starting right tackle of the Miami Dolphins this coming season? Do you think he's going to end up being the guy protecting Tua's blind side this year?
I would hope not. I would hope they draft Abraham Lucas. If he's there.
If he's there.
You still can't make out what I'm saying, huh?
A little bit. I could hear like every third word. By the way, Andre said the best comment. Big John is on that 201.
Well, Alex, Big John, thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. I appreciate eating my French fries on your show.
Yeah, I love it. Did you dip them in the sauce?
Yeah. Okay. I didn't like the sauce.
I think I might, if Husam's got to go, I might have to let both of you go because the Tua Wi-Fi, Big John, I love you, man, but it's killing me. It's killing me. He stormed out. I love him. I love you too as well, Husam. And safe travels this week, sir.
Thank you.
Safe travels. Oh, man. Dougie Fresh's Big John is in witness protection program using public library Wi-Fi. Cole Strange, college prep professional, says Cole Strange is a good player, but was getting tossed in the Senior Bowl clips I saw. Ooh, that's an interesting one. I'm going to have to, the next time that I have Husam on, we're going to have to follow up on that. But he did say, like, listen, he's got to put on a little size. Time to upgrade from the dial-up. Like, I know, honestly, I know it's frustrating for Big John because he used to have perfect, pristine Wi-Fi. And then just something happened. It happens every now and then. Like, I don't even, you know what? I just realized I'm usually plugged into a hard connection, but I'm not today. So I'm also relying on the Wi-Fi gods to keep me on and keep me running smoothly. Because usually I've got my computer plugged into a hard connection, but I forgot to connect the Ethernet today. So I am also on Wi-Fi as well today. So God willing, you guys are making out everything that I say. But telling you, we got to get better with this Wi-Fi because Big John's was perfect. And then somebody, the cable company, the wireless company, somebody screwed this dude over. Somebody screwed it over. So huge thanks to Husam Patel and Big John Stud for stopping by. We are going to be talking in less than 10 minutes with Vishnu Parasuraman, who's part of the Miami Hurricanes coverage here on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. He does an awesome job on the 6 Ring show. So we're going to be continuing a series that we're doing on Donno Daily this week. People who cover the various teams. We had Alfredo Arteaga on, who covers the Dolphins on Monday. Ethan Skolnick, who, of course, covers the Heat, was with us yesterday. Vishnu's going to join us. I'm going to try and track down our buddy Joe Frisaro, who covers the Marlins, either Dave Dwork or Alex Baumgartner, who covers the Panthers. We're having people on making the case for why the team that they cover has had the best regular season in South Florida history. It's going to be hard to top the Dolphins 1972 and even 1984. And what inspired this is the Florida Panthers are currently having one of the best regular seasons in South Florida history. And so Vish is going to join us today to make the case for my money, what has to be right up there with anything the Dolphins have done. And that was the 2001 Canes. What a regular season that was. I mean, not only were they perfect, they finished their year 12-0 with a national championship that year. But the only game that was even close where they just didn't play well and still won was the Boston College game. Everything else that year was blowout city. They went up to Happy Valley to play Penn State, and they shellacked them. You remember that was the season when they had back-to-back games against ranked teams. They played the Washington Huskies, who they had beaten, or who had beaten Miami the year before and ruined Miami's season in 2000. They played the Washington Huskies, beat them 65-7. I think the week before that, they played Syracuse, who was ranked that year as well. They beat Syracuse 59-0. And then the next week, these are ranked teams, Syracuse 59-0. The next week, they played the Washington Huskies, beat them 65-7. And then, of course, in the national championship game, they steamrolled the Nebraska Cornhuskers. 2001 Canes up there with one of the best regular season teams of all time. And thank you so much for watching College Prep. He says, great show, first-time viewer. What about Troy Anderson as a developmental linebacker, but a legit fullback backup for Al Engel? I like that, and I will tell you, I still think linebacker, one of the biggest needs on these Miami Dolphins. Linebacker, center as well, right up there, my friend, right up there. He says Troy Anderson in Dade says would have to spend more time learning the linebacker position. So I want to go back to a couple of Dolphins things here. We've had some complimentary things being said about our QB1, Tua Tagovailoa. Yeah, I was watching, as I mentioned, I Am Athlete, where they're always eating during the show. I guess that's the new thing. But they had Jalen Waddle on. And Jalen Waddle, he explained, you remember before the draft last year, about a year ago, Jalen Waddle was asked who he liked catching balls better from. Mac Jones, who was his quarterback in 2000 in Alabama, or Tua, who was his quarterback for the previous 2 years. And he said Mac Jones. He said, and, Tua haters have been using that as ammunition, right? And Devontae Smith said the same thing. He also said Mac Jones. They came out the same year, of course. And a lot of the Tua haters are like, oh, hey, the guys that were catching passes from Tua, they both said they liked Mac Jones better than Tua. Now, Waddle explained it, and it was something that I suspected all along, because he was asked that question by Omar Kelly, and he said it like, I was trying to help the guy get drafted, Mac. Like, I'm trying to help his draft position, because Tua was already on an NFL team, was, he didn't have to worry about that. He was getting established, had gone through his rookie year. Mac Jones was in the thick of it, was about to be drafted. I was trying to help Mac Jones. And yeah, guys, I suspect that what that was all along. Now, I will throw a little bit of spark into this fire, though, because I will remind you that the fact that he said Mac Jones 1 year and then Tua the next year, he was lying one of those times. So, you would hope he was lying the first time and not the second time, because he wanted to get Mac Jones drafted the first time around. But now that he's Tua's teammate, he's trying to prop up Tua the second time around. Let's see if our boy is back. Big John Stud.
Yo, did it work now?
I think it's a little bit better.
I think what the issue is. I'm really confused.
I don't know either, my friend.
I shouldn't have this. I was on last night and they have this issue. So I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
It might be an act of 5 Reasons Sports sabotage. Let me see if I can find the tinfoil hat. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. I discovered this among some of my son's things. My 4-year-old, very hyperactive, very destructive child. Like, sometimes he will take like actual clothes that I wear and he will throw them in the garbage can. I don't know why he does it. He's been spanked several times by his mother. I don't touch the kid, but she doesn't mind spank. But I found this tinfoil hat among his things here. So, what's happening, folks? Big conspiracy. You got there's the globalists, the elites, the Illuminati. They're conspiring to sabotage the Big John Stud internet connection.
I don't know, man. All I know is I was on last night to have an issue.
Oh man. Well, I'm sorry, sir. Let me ask you one thing, and then I'm going to bring in Vishnu Parasuraman here in a second. So, Big John Stud, Do you think the Dolphins? Do you think J.C. Treader could end up being a Miami Dolphin, or are they going to go possibly the draft route?
I think he'll end up a Miami Dolphin after the draft.
Okay.
Because to me, if Abraham Lucas is there, I would take Abraham Lucas over anybody. I mean, he's 6'6", man, and he can move. He's better than Austin Jackson right now.
So is your daughter, though.
Oh yeah, she's better than the whole offensive line. The only one that gives my daughter any problems is who did we just forgot who we just brought in?
Armstead, Teron Armstead.
He's the only one. He knows how to pick her up and don't let her run. He grabs her. So.
Well, I love you, man. I got to let you run. I'm gonna send the AT&T guy to your house and have him replace all the wires.
It doesn't make any sense. I was on last night with all of them, didn't have an issue, and I'm like, when you told me, I was like, what? Internet issue? No way.
You look sad.
Yeah, I am sad. It's messed up, man.
Are the neighbors? Could the neighbors be stealing your Wi-Fi? Did you do you think they might have hacked the password or something?
You want to know? You want to know a true story? Real quick.
Yeah.
The neighbors actually one time got pissed off and cut my internet with a. That's actually a true story.
That could be the problem. You got to
because my internet runs through their backyard, so they got pissed off and they cut it. Yeah. That's a true story. That's not even.
Oh man, I believe it. I
should have blown up the neighbor, man. I'm telling you.
You should have. Listen, we will get it sorted, and we will. I don't even know if I'm going to wait till next Wednesday or Thursday. Next Monday or Tuesday, I'm going to be hitting you up, my friend.
All right, man. That'll be good.
Oh man, I love it. Yeah, I'm even. Hold on, I'm going to attempt here. Let me bring on our guy Vishnu Parasuraman. So I had even. Big John Stud made me think about this with the whole internet. I'm usually hard connected, and I forgot to connect my Ethernet today. So I'm going to connect it, and I don't know. And I know Vishnu's a pro. So if I have any interruption when my very old MacBook is like identifying, wait, we got a different internet coming in. If I'm cut off for a second, I know Vishnu can carry us through like 5 or 6 seconds while it's finding my new connector. Vishnu, how you been, sir? It's been too long.
Yeah, no, it's been going well. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, especially with everything going on, spring practice, transfer portal, all that good stuff. But before we talk about the present and future, I want to step in a time machine and talk a little bit about the past, because we've had a series running this week on Donno Daily where we've been identifying best regular seasons in South Florida history. And it was inspired by the regular season the Florida Panthers are having. They've been astoundingly good, okay? We had our guy Alfredo Arteaga from 3 Yards Per Carry, who joins us every Monday. He made the case for a couple of different Dolphins regular seasons. Of course, 1972, which was the road to perfection. 1984 was a damn good, damn fun regular season. Ethan Skolnick was on with us yesterday talking about the 2012-2013 Miami Heat, who won 66 games. They had the 27-game winning streak. That was incredible as well. Now, for my money, and you'll probably agree with me, I think the 2001 Miami Hurricanes were up there with the best of them, and that was right in our primes, because you and I both. I mean, I shouldn't speak for you. We're like exiting our primes right now. Yeah. 2001, we were right in the thick of it. Do you feel like, first of all, is that even the best regular season in Miami Hurricanes history? Because there have been some good ones.
So that's an interesting question when you throw the term regular season in there, because I'd actually argue the '86 team, they blew everyone out.
I said the same thing.
But they blew the Fiesta Bowl, so they didn't even win the championship, so they kind of got lost there. The 2001 team's the best team ever. In fact, I have a hat for every occasion. This is my Dime Life Greatest Team Ever hat, honoring that team, so it was intentional. So I think it was the best team ever, but there were a couple of... I mean, they went undefeated, so can't really complain, and a lot of blowouts, but there were a couple of tight games, Boston College and Virginia Tech, that probably didn't need to be. So in that sense, it was, in terms of was that the best regular season, if we take the bowl games out of it, it was probably the '86 team. They did not play a competitive game until unfortunately the last one.
Yeah.
And so, but overall, like if you throw the bowl game in there, I'd go with 2001.
You know what? I'm really glad you brought up the Virginia Tech game as well in 01 because I think I confused that with a different year because in 2000, Miami beat Virginia Tech at home comfortably, and that was Michael Vick's final year, but he was injured. He had like an ankle problem, didn't play in that game in 2000.
I think he played a little bit. They were rotating him in,
right.
but that game
That's
was
right.
that game. I mean, this is going to go down a nerd wormhole, but that game actually cost Miami the BCS championship because back then margin of victory. They tweaked the formula several times, but back then margin of victory was a big thing, and there was bonus points if you won by 21 points, and Miami was up huge. I don't even know if it was 41 to nothing or something, but there was a bunch of celebration penalties. They missed like a 50-yard extra point.
I remember that. Yeah.
And so it ended up 41, and then Virginia Tech got like a garbage touchdown, blocked a punt, and got another garbage touchdown, ended up 41-21. And that 1 point actually cost them bonus points, which would have tripped the calculation, put them instead of Florida State. That's a nerd wormhole, but that game wasn't competitive. The one in Blacksburg in 2001, that was also a little bit odd. Miami, it was 26-10. Fourth quarter game was under control. Virginia Tech blocked a punt, and got a touchdown. Then got the 2, and then the next thing you knew it was close. And then they scored another touchdown, and missed the 2. So that's why the margin ended up being 2 points. But it was one of those. Again, it was a special teams play that kind of shrunk that margin. Nothing obviously like the BC game where it was. It was sitting there on the 10-yard line. Although even that was a little bit. All these, and this is why. I mean, this is why this is the best team ever. This is them playing poorly on the road in tough environments, and having breaks go against them and still winning. Right. Because if you remember the end of that Boston College game, right before Boston College made that drive down, where they obviously eventually threw the interception that Ed Reed ended up scoring on. The game was over, and because the Canes were running the clock out, Portis gets injured. Freshman Frank Gore comes in and fumbles. And that's how they got the ball back. The ball was in Boston College territory, just needed one more first down. And he fumbled. He hadn't carried a lot, and certainly not in pressure situations. So it's just, and then the throw to get down inside the 10 was like 4th and 10. It was kind of a fluky completion. That all happened in one sequence. You're like, the game's over. It's 4th and a mile. They're at midfield, and they catch this long pass, and then immediately, like in the same sequence, they run up to the line and throw the pass that gets intercepted. So those games often, you remember like the last play, like everyone remembers like Virginia Tech's guy dropped the 2-point conversion, and everyone remembers obviously the Ed Reed play is famous.
Yep.
There was a lot of stuff that went against Miami to get to the point where that team was in position.
So to make the final case here, talk a little bit about 86, because I tend to agree with you, actually, that if we're just talking regular season and not, the fact that Miami shat the bed in the Fiesta Bowl, but if you're just talking regular season, that 86 team may be the most talented, well, maybe not most talented, because the 2001 Canes had all the talent, but that was probably like the most dominant regular season Miami ever had.
Yeah, and some of the stuff like playing Oklahoma at home, Oklahoma was the top team in the country, beat the crap out of them. There was not a competitive game. In fact, even after Vinny Testaverde got injured in that, I think it was a moped accident, Jeff Toretta, Gino's brother, came in, team kept rolling. It's 2020 hindsight now as to whether or not Vinny should have actually played the bowl game. That was his first game back. He wasn't really healthy. Obviously had a bad game. So that's the 2020and hindsight. But that team was a machine.
It was such a bad game that people thought he was point shaving. Like, what are you
right?
throwing,
But he was actually
in that game?
and he was injured.
Yeah.
And that's still one that Jimmy Johnson talks about. Like, probably should just play Jeff Toretta. It would have been fine. Because just Vinny he's obviously the Heisman winner that year. He ended up playing the NFL for like 2 decades. Great quarterback. But if you're not healthy, you're not healthy. And I think that's probably the biggest regret for the entire program in history is that they didn't finish that season off, because I think we'd be having probably a very different conversation on greatest team ever if that team had finished the season the way it had played it. But they didn't. The 2001 Canes did. And I think the interesting thing with the 2001 Canes is they obviously like watching them was impressive, and you knew it at the time, right? But it is really like it's like a 3-year arc. We talked about the 2000 Virginia Tech game, but that whole season, that team lost the Washington game and then went undefeated the rest of the year, and then that arc kind of culminates with the loss in the Fiesta Bowl, which let's not pick that scab, but so that 2001 team, as an isolated, it's hard to kind of pinpoint on that team exactly. If you look at the 2000 team, Santana Moss, Reggie Wayne, Dan Morgan, they all graduated off that team. The 2001 team was the team after that one, right? Yeah. So it's kind of it's just like there's this whole cycle of 3 teams. The only really consistent thing across all 3 of them was Ken Dorsey. But the rest of it, like the running backs all swapped out. Like James Jackson was the starting running back in the 2000 team. Then it was Portis. Then it was McGahee. So you had these kind of like, players cycling out. And that's why when you look back in retrospect, it's like, holy crap, that talent was insane. After you see what these guys did in the NFL and you kind of see overall, like, who loses basically an NFL Hall of Fame roster and then just comes back out. And that 2001 team lost the top 3 receivers off the team because Andre King was the third one. That's right. Lost the running back, lost the starting tight end was Ivan Mercer, lost several offensive linemen. Damian Lewis went in the first round off the defensive line. Dan Morgan won every defensive award. He was gone. Al Blades at safety was gone. Did not miss a beat. And that's when you realize just how loaded all those teams are. But 2001 was kind of the pinnacle of that 3-year arc, and that's why it stands out. Not just because it's the one that actually won, because 2000 easily could have, with a little bit of computer help, would have played Oklahoma and killed them, and Oklahoma knows it would have killed them. So, and then there would also be a championship team. But 2001 is where kind of everything clicked, and it was just there was no stopping that team.
And then 02, if not for an untimely incorrect flag, and again, I don't want to pick the scab the same way you did, and a couple of bounces, and Miami could have been a consecutive and 3-time champion.
Yeah, it could have easily been a 3-time, probably deservedly were a 3-time champion, but even with that, the 2001 team was definitely where it paid, because even in 2002, there were a lot of, I remember playing at home against Pittsburgh, Florida State, that was not, I mean, there was a little bit of a fluke in that, like, that last Chris Ricks pass. He just tossed it up, and they somehow caught it, and then they missed the field goal. But, like, that wasn't a good Florida State team that almost came into Miami and won that game. So, the 2002 team on the field did, absent a flag after the season was over, by the time the flag came out. Absent that, they do win the championship again. And I feel like they earned it on the field, but I think you could tell that it had slipped from where it was at the peak in 2001 by that point.
Last thing for you here, we do have the Miami Spring Game coming up this Saturday, which I'm looking forward to. The Dry Pig Stadium is sold out.
18,000. Believe this.
That's awesome. It's going to be televised on ACC Network for those who couldn't get in because the game's sold out. But who are you looking forward to watching most, Fish? If you want to give me a few players, and we can save people Tyler Van Dyke because it's so obvious. But who else are you really looking forward to watching?
So I'll give you a position unit. I'm looking at the offensive line. That's where there's probably been the most dramatic shift in approach. And actually, like, our offense was fine last year, but just going away from those spread air raid concepts of blocking to just a completely different blocking scheme. Obviously, Mirabal's is just a hard ass, which is good. So I'm really curious to see like how those blocking schemes look, how physical they are. Because as good as the offense was last year, no one would call them physical. Even when the run game was working, struggled in short yardage and all that, and that's something you can kind of see in a spring game, because a lot of it will be vanilla. They're not going to open the playbook up. They're not going to, show anything. And frankly, they would have done that in practice anyway. So it would be. So the one thing you can though see is how people are tackling, how physical they are, because it doesn't matter what play you call, that still is consistent. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how the offensive line kind of, some of their blocking schemes I'm sure we'll get a peek into, but just how physical they are on the line scrimmage. Because to me that's how you can elevate to another level. Because Van Dyke, like I said, Van Dyke's going to be good. We have a lot of talented receivers. We have an insane running back.
Oh my god!
room right now. So like the skill position is going to be there, and the quarterback will be able to get the ball there. But to take that next step, it's going to be the offensive line kind of physically owning opponents, and we haven't done that in a long time, even when we've been playing well.
I want to make sure everyone's following Fish News' work. 5reasonsports.com, Sebastian's Pub, and video content. You guys do such a great job on the Sixth Ring. Let people know where and when they could find that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on. We got Six Rings Canes going. That's Wednesdays at 8:30. Last night we actually had, I'm gonna mispronounce his last name, but I'll just do this to not insult him. The guy who just committed to us from Australia was on from Australia. We had him on live.
Yes, I love him.
So,
Frankie Tinalau. If I don't know if I'm saying it correctly.
Okay, well, Donno took the bullet for me. There's the pro. We were just calling him Frankie on the interview. But yeah, check that out. And then we also had his high school coach, his future high school coach, on and talk about some of the challenges with getting someone from Australia over to LaSalle High locally in Miami. So that was fun. We also, I know Donno's got passing interest in this. We started a Formula One show, so we got that 9:30s on Wednesday. So you can have me for a 2-hour block there. Myself and Jazz are on both of those shows.
I love
yeah,
it.
so that's what's going on. So yeah, check all that out if you're interested in the Canes or if you're interested in Formula One as well.
You guys have really been taking off with the Formula One coverage. I think it's great that we have it. And make sure you can see his handle there. Make sure you follow Vish on Twitter at VRP2003.
Oh, but before we sign off, real quick, shout out to the baseball team. 14 wins in a row, ranked number 2 in the country. Gotta give them the props.
And I was gonna say that because you're such a great follow. Every Canes fan should be following Vishnu because he's not just tweeting football stuff. He's tweeting when they're in season basketball and women's basketball and a lot of baseball. So he follows everything. So if you want to stay connected to Miami sports, this is the guy you do it with. And I know your follower count's going to keep blowing up even more as long as the baseball team keeps doing what they're doing.
This looks substantively different. I mean, we're on a winning streak, so obviously everything feels great right now. But just the attitude of the team, the approach looks much more similar to what we saw 15 to 20 years ago than what we were seeing 5 years ago. So it's very exciting times.
Let me get your real quick on the way out. Your opinion as a Dallas Cowboys fan, so you're not biased for and probably not against the Dolphins either. Mm-hmm. Your opinion on Tua Tagovailoa. I like to ask.
I know your opinion, so you know what? I think the Dolphins are right to have him stick out with McDaniel. I'll say that. I don't think he's, at least I haven't seen enough to say that this guy's elite and he's like, oh yeah, this is, that's a no-brainer to keep him, or to build around him. But at this point, like, I don't know that there's an upgrade. And I think letting McDaniel have a year with him, and like, if you trust McDaniel with your franchise, he's obviously an offensive guy, he's a quarterback guy. If he comes to me as like the owner or GM or whoever and says like that's not the guy, he's out. But I give him a chance to evaluate him, and I'm assuming that those were part of the discussions they had in the hiring process too. Was hey, what do you think of him? Can you work with him? And if they universally got back from quarterback people, this guy ain't it, I think they would have probably moved on. I honestly don't know what was going on with that circus last year with the Deshaun Watson stuff. I think it'll be a lot better for Tua and for the franchise if that's in the rearview mirror, and they can just focus on the season. And if he plays well, they're definitely getting him weapons. Yeah. So he's not going to have an excuse unless they don't fix the offensive line, which I'm assuming they're going to do.
That's a perfect take. That's a spot on take. That's a spot. It's reasonable, and You're given Tua a chance, which is the same place I'm at, but you don't sleep in Tua bed sheets like half of our viewers do.
Yeah, well, I think what's happened is he's become so polarizing that it's like he either sucks or he's great, and he's been okay. Yeah, he's been okay, and if you get him more weapons and he's still just okay, you probably. I guess at this point, when I look at the Dolphins, I don't see the quarterback as the position holding them back.
Right.
So when the other stuff starts getting addressed, it'll become a lot more noticeable. I never saw what Ryan Tannehill's done in Tennessee happening either. So who knows? Sometimes it's change of scenery.
But the thing is, and that's part of it. But Tannehill in Tennessee also had better offensive line and better weapons. So maybe the same thing can happen for Tua. And I think probably Tannehill the last couple of years. Hope I'm wrong, but I think that's about Tua's ceiling. But but things can get better with better talent.
Well, I think it depends because I think Tannehill's in a run-heavy offense because, if he's a guy who has to throw 50 times a game, you're in trouble. So I think that makes sense. Actually, I think Tua's I think he's more of a, not still an old term, I don't think they're going to exactly run this, but more of a West Coast offense type of guy. He can be accurate in the low to medium, but he's not going to throw people open downfield. And I think a lot of kind of controlled, accurate passing is probably the best for his skill set, but But I mean, we'll see. I don't think there's any reason to chuck him out right now, unless there's obviously if that whole Brady insanity that came out over the weekend. If that happened, sure, yeah, go ahead, go ahead to enjoy the rest of your career. We'll dump you right if that was the option, but that didn't come to fruition. So,
and honestly, I think just throwing this out there, I think 44-year-old Tom Brady might still have more years in the NFL left than Tua, because I don't know what. Well, whatever rejuvenation therapy Brady gets, he may keep playing until he's 60. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think like if there was that kind of option, or there was rumors Rodgers was available, like that type of stuff, it's a no-brainer. But I mean, I think Tua's shown enough to at least not be we'll just get anyone else in here. It does need to actually be someone better, and I don't see the Dolphins having that option right now.
All right, I'll let you get back to work, sir. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, no problem, man. Take care. It's good to talk to you again.
I love it. I love how he's able to carve out time for us despite the fact that he is working now. That's what the Mad Dog Jim Mandich used to say, the corporate time stealing weasel. Like I'm pulling this dude out of meetings and I'm loving every second of it. Oh, fantastic. I think that was a direct response to me saying that Brady is going to play more years from now than Tua is. So give me a breath. Listen. He's 40. He's going to be 45 years old this season. I think Brady can keep playing at a high level till he's 60. I may or may not be joking when I say that. I'll leave that up to you guys to decide. So huge thanks to Vishnu for Big John Stud, who is trying to tough out his internet issues. Hussam Patel for joining us. Guys, I want to remind you, we have great sponsors that make this show possible. BetUS.com, the official sportsbook of Donno Daily, America's favorite sportsbook, the 3-decade leader. This is a full-service online sportsbook available in Florida. I love BetUS.com because they have odds on everything. In fact, the reason why I found BetUS about a year and a half ago is I was looking for college lacrosse odds, and I couldn't find them on another online sportsbook. I found them at BetUS.com. They are reliable. They've got good odds, fair odds, and they have odds for about any sport you can imagine. And you can live bet on all of it, by the way. Don't just bet before the games start. You can bet during the games. The technology that they have, online betting, live betting, is a game changer. So make sure you sign up at BetUS.com. And you want to sign up this week, guys, because we have the NBA playoffs, the real playoffs coming up. Not talking about these play-ins. You got the playoffs coming up, hockey playoffs as well. There's always international soccer going on. Champions League continues to advance. Football season is going to be here before you know it. So sign up at BetUS.com. And guys, when you sign up, we have the best bonus in the industry for you. This is why BetUS is America's favorite sportsbook. They take care of you. If you sign up with our code, 5RSN125, that's 5RSN125. They're going to give you a 125% sign-up bonus. If you deposit $100, for example, they're going to give you an extra $125 in free play money on top of your deposit. How good is that? They also have a full casino on the site. You can play blackjack for real money, table games, slot games. It's so much fun. Give it a try. Sign up today with our code 5RSN125. You bet, you win, you get paid. BetUS.com. We have an official sports bar. My friends, we're going to have a Heat playoff watch party. We're going to have a couple of them. I think the first one we're going to do, I think this is pretty much set in stone now. So Heat, we don't know who the opponent is yet, but we know that game 4 is going to be a road game a week from Sunday, and we're going to have a watch party for that at the Quarterdeck Davie location. So come out, and we're going to have more details throughout the week next week, believe me. But come out, watch the game with us. You can meet people like me, Ethan Skolnick, Brady Hawk will probably come out. Alfredo Arteaga is usually out at all the watch parties. And our guy Dave Friedman, Taco About Sports, could be out there as well. So come out and say hi to us a week from Sunday for the Heat first round series game 4. But there's never a bad time to go out to the Quarterdeck. If you want to stop by, have dinner there tonight, stop by for happy hour. They have 2-for-1 happy hour all day, every day, knocking down those 2-for-1 drinks, my friends. The beer is always cold. They got TVs covering every wall to watch all the games. It's a beautiful spot to be. And yeah, the food is really, really good. Try the jerk chicken sandwich. Try the all-American burger. Try the fresh mahi-mahi. The salads are awesome. All the sandwiches are great. Stop by the Quarterdeck Seafood Bar and Neighborhood Grill. And if you want to find the location nearest to you or check out their full menu before you go, visit their website, quarterdeckrestaurants.com. The Quarterdeck, come for the food, stay for the fun. By the way, my friends, I will be back on in 3 hours right here on 5 Reasons YouTube because we have our combat sports show tonight, which is also brought to you by the Quarterdeck. We're going to have 5 rounds this evening. And on 5 rounds tonight at 6 o'clock, it's me, James Walker, and Frank Zaffrey. We are going to be talking about the matchup that is looking like it's going to happen next in the welterweight division. Khamzat Chimaev, who just had fight of the fucking year candidate against Gilbert Burns. Big win, amazing fight. And it looks like Khamzat Chimaev is going to fight everyone's favorite or least favorite bad guy, Colby Covington, that they're targeting this summer on ABC for Colby Covington and Khamzat Chimaev. So we're going to talk about how we expect that fight to play out. The early odds are coming out, and they're like very close. it's almost a pick'em fight. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about Frank Zaffrey's MMA training. I have footage. Like Frank, he's like a 54, 55-year-old in shape guy, but he is training for a fight. He's going to take an MMA fight, and we have some footage of his training. And like I got to tell you, as much as I want to laugh at it, he's looking pretty good. So we're gonna talk through that later on tonight. We'll talk about Khamzat Chimaev versus Colby Covington. So make sure you tune in. It's gonna be right here on 5 Reasons Sports YouTube at 6 o'clock. Make sure you blow it up, guys. Show up to 5 rounds. Smash the like button. Smash the like button right now too for this video. By the way, I want everyone hitting the like button before you get out of here today. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and hit the little bell to turn notifications on, so you can see every time we are live. Devin Jordan says, Donno, I want the Heat to play Atlanta. I think I'd prefer Charlotte. But listen, the Heat would beat any of these teams. Cleveland, Charlotte, Atlanta, W. I'm not afraid. Like, I'm not afraid of any of these teams. I wasn't even afraid of Brooklyn, but I'm more afraid of Brooklyn than these other teams. But I think I'd slightly prefer Charlotte than Atlanta. But, you know, we're splitting hairs. Just whoever gets through, I'm totally fine with it. Hello to AZ Cards. Speaking of welterweight, we got Spence versus Ugas on Saturday. That's a big boxing fight coming up. We'll talk about that a little bit as well tonight. Indeed. Thank you so much. The show, thank you. Fins up. I just figured that out. I'm like, what is this combination of emojis? Oh, fins up. I got it, my friends. Drew Boo. Even though Drew Boo gets very, I think he gets very offended by my Tua slander, my Tua trolling. You saw, though, Cameron Jordan was very complimentary of Tua. He was asked out of the third-year quarterbacks going into next year, who's got the most room for growth? And he said, after playing Tua, it's Tua because he has more room to grow. He said he's poised. He doesn't get rattled. After playing Justin Herbert, you can hit Justin. He gets a little rattled after you start sticking him early. Tua stays calm. Tua has that demeanor about him. He's been hurt more, so he has much more room to grow. So you take that as a dub. Those are nice things he says about Tua's composure. He doesn't get rattled. You hit Tua, does not get rattled. So that's good. I will take that as a huge compliment for our QB1. Hello, Kyle. Thank you so much. And yeah, Vish is great. He's the man. Hello to Big Dan 305. Beat those turkeys, aka the Hokies. I hate the Hokies. Hokey, hi, hokey, ho. G.A. Canes fan, thank you so much. Thank you for saying hello to Vish and myself. VLKV, same thing. I see VLKV in here all the time. We appreciate your support. Doug E. Fresh, we love it. And this is it really took you that long in date? He says found out about him. Oh, you mean about who? I don't know who you're talking. Oh, he's probably talking about one of these. I thought he was just saying he just found out about Kyle Krabs. I'm like, hey, what took you so long? But yeah, I think they're talking about draft prospects here because I know they've been going back and forth. And thank you. College Prep Professionals mentioned this is his first time finding the show. So thank you so much for finding us. Make sure you smash the like button and subscribe. Tony 2 times, hello to you as well. Devin Jordan, Trap Shit Williams, thank you for coming in here. Level 2 noob, thank you so much. Let's see who else. I try to shout out everybody. I try. Andres, thank you so much for getting in here. David Sappington, thank you so much. Dolphins need a new QB. I do want to see what this one can do. Throw into Tyreek Hill. and Jalen Waddle and Mike Gesicki and Cedric Wilson and throwing it out of the backfield to Chase Edmonds and Raheem Mostert, who's got blazing speed. I'm very curious to see what Tua does this year, and I've got an open mind and an open heart, and I want him to prove me and everyone wrong who's ever doubted him. I would love it. I'm a Dolphins fan. I win. Like, that's the bigger win. Like, some people think if he doesn't play well, that's like a big win for me because I've criticized the guy before. I'm a Dolphin fan first and foremost. Like, if he shuts out all my doubts and the Dolphins have like a great season and make a playoff run, I'm more than happy to be wrong about that because I'm a Dolphins fan more. I'm a Dolphins fan first, and I'm a Tua skeptic second. That's the way it falls for me. I'd be more than happy to be wrong. And I would also understand that if I'm wrong, you guys are going to rub it in my face, and that's fine. We'll have fun with it. That's fine. Scott Paulus. Now, if I'm right, I may rub it in your faces, but it is what it is. I won't be happy about it. I will not be happy to be right about that. Scott, thank you so much for tuning in. Let's see. That might be it. I feel like I skipped a whole section of commenters, so I apologize. Make sure you support. Caesar Diaz, thank you so much for getting in. Chris, the Fins tailgate. Oh, he said, what happened to Donno? Sorry, I'm late. Hit the like button, everybody. I did share the link on. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing that, Chris. Thank you. I appreciate it. And yeah, everyone now. And he says, the big win is if Tua does well and we had those two first-round draft picks still, that's the win-win. All right, we're going to talk to you guys again tomorrow. Now, tomorrow, we're going to start at 3 o'clock because I'm going to be hosting in the morning. I'm going to be filling in for Tobin and Leroy on 790 The Ticket. And then I've got to watch my beloved Nerazzurri. Inter are playing at 1, and that game's going to be done by 3. So 3 o'clock, we're going to be here live streaming. We're going to be kicking back, drinking some beers, enjoying happy hour tomorrow on another episode of Donno Daily. Make sure you support Quarterdeck Seafood Bar and Neighborhood Grill. Make sure you support prizepicks.com, our daily fantasy provider, and make sure you support betus.com. Before I forget, again, I will talk to you guys again tonight. Before I talk to you tomorrow, I will talk to you tonight on a new episode of 5 Rounds, 6 p.m. right here on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. See ya.